How's everybody doing? It's Crazy Monkey here again. Another blog update. I'm going to do a few blogs. It's just an absolutely beautiful day today. You can see out there, it's just absolutely beautiful. All the fall colors are now in full effect. The reds, the oranges, the yellows. Just absolutely beautiful. I'll show you a mountain view. So what I want to talk about now is I want to talk about extreme feminism and how it's destroying society and how it's leading to the deaths of literally millions of men. And, a lot of people call it feminazism, which it basically is. What this is basically doing is it's destroying society, it's destroying the family, it's breaking apart families, wrecking the society, and leading to the deaths of millions of men. And who's promoting this feminazism is obviously the feminazis are promoting it, obviously. It's also being promoted by corporate elites, government, and the universities. A lot of these leftists at the universities are promoting it. Socialism is promoting it. It's really promoted by the socialist universities, big government, and the corporate billionaire CEO elites. And the reason why is because they make the money and they get the power. For example, feminazism results in socialism. It basically turns the country socialist. So the big government, the socialist part of the big government, they want it because they want to turn the government socialist. They want to turn America socialist. The corporations, they support it because feminazism basically gets women in the workforce, which benefits the corporations by lowering wages and boosting their profits. So essentially what this is it's basically a combination of socialism, big government socialism, and corporatism. So it's a hybrid system. So it's not like total like communism. It's more like socialist hybrid system with the corporations as well. So it's like part capitalist but part socialist. Big government socialism, and then the corporations making a lot of money. And that would be the more capitalist aspect of it. But then again, at the same time, the corporations are using socialism to bring this system about so they can make more profits. You look at a certain candidate, I think she's called Pocahontas, and she wants to make college free, and she wants all the student loan debts to be paid off, forgiven. And who would that benefit? That would benefit the big, huge corporations, because then millions of people would go get free college degrees, and then the wages for those degrees, the salaries for those degrees would go way, way down, and then the corporate profits would go way, way up. Another thing Pocahontas supports is free daycare, so you can throw away your babies, you can throw away your toddler. So women then can throw away their babies, throw away their toddlers in the free daycare, and then they can go work their corporate job, which then again drives down wages, and it makes corporate profits go up. So if you look at the whole socialist big government system, it's merging with the corporations. So the corporations make more money, more profit, and then at the same time the government gets more power, so the socialist politicians get more power. And that's really what it is. So talking about the feminazism and how it's killing men, look at the divorce rates. It's like the divorce rates now in many Western countries are upwards 70%. 70% divorce rates in many Western countries. 80% of these divorces are initiated by women. That's another statistic. 90% of women that get married to a guy, the guy makes significantly more money than they make. So because of hypergamy, most women want a guy that's significantly higher status and significantly higher salary pay than they have. So if the woman makes $50,000 a year, she wants a guy that makes $100,000. If she makes $100,000, she wants a guy that makes $200,000. That's why when you go to New York City, you see so many cat ladies in Manhattan. You see all these professional women in their 40s and 50s, and they're like cat ladies. And the reason why is because these women make like 70, 80, 90, 100 grand a year, and they all want these like super guy alpha males that make like 250, and they can't get it, so they become cat ladies. So you have that phenomenon in New York City, Manhattan especially, where you got a lot of these highly educated women, these yuppie women, these feminazi women that want these $200,000, $300,000 salary alpha males, and they don't get it, so they become cat ladies. And then in the country as a whole, in the entire Western civilization, and now even a lot of third world countries are becoming like this as well. We're seeing skyrocketing divorce rates. And the reason why this is happening is because women have been told by the universities, told by the feminazis, that they're princesses and that they deserve the best. They deserve a guy that makes $100,000 a year. They deserve a guy that is just making a ton of money. And these women believe it. They believe that. So what winds up happening is they basically go to school, they go to college, then they ride the CC. A lot of these women ride the CC. That's cock carousel. They ride the CC. They ride the cock carousel. And then what happens is by the time they're 35, they're still not married up. They're still like single. So then what happens is they can't get the alpha male they want. They rode their CC, all through their college years, all through their early corporate years. They never got the alpha male. The alpha male just effed them and chucked them. They had sex with like 50 alpha males, and the alpha males just effed them and chucked them. So now they can't get the alpha male. So now what they do is they decide to get the beta bucks. They decide to get the beta bucks guy. He's making, say, 70, 80 grand a year. He's the beta bucks guy, and he's the one that we'll get to it in a minute, but this guy is going to get totally screwed over most of the time. Most of the time, this guy gets totally screwed over. Here's what happens. He becomes a sperm donor. That's right. So she's going to get with this beta bucks, this beta male, this beta bucks, that's making like 70,000 a year in her office. They're going to get together. He's going to get sperm jacked. She's going to be pregnant. They're going to get married. 2 babies later, all right, they're going to be married for, say, 5, 6, 7 years. 2 babies later, this guy, this beta bucks, put 2 babies in her. He put 2 babies in her. I guess he got sperm jacked twice. All right, so now maybe he did it because he wanted to do it. Who knows? Maybe he had the 2 children because he wanted the 2 children. Maybe he's that naive. I don't know. But here's what happens. That woman then files divorce. 80% of divorces are filed by the woman, and now 70% of marriages end in divorce. So the odds of this guy getting screwed over in a divorce rape situation are greater than 50% when you do the math. It's greater than 50% when you do the math. This guy's going to get screwed over. And in this guy's situation, it's way greater than 50%. You know why? Because in these beta buck situations where the woman rides to CC and she's been effed by like 50, 100 guys, and now she's 35 and she decides to get married up to the beta bucks, those situations end in divorce at a much, much higher rate. And the reason why is because this beta bucks was her second choice. It was never her first choice. It was her second choice. She wanted the alpha. She didn't get the alpha. She got the beta bucks instead. So she's always angry. She's always resentful because she always wanted that alpha. So eventually she is usually going to divorce, rape this guy. And then this guy's going to lose a ton of money. He's going to have to pay her vagina money, alimony. He's going to have to pay child support. He's going to probably lose half the house or more of the house. He's just going to lose everything, and he's going to become dirt poor, and he's going to lose everything. And that's literally what's happening. And then these guys, as they get dirt poor because they get divorce raped, because we have a divorce rape culture in this country where women are divorce raping men by the millions every year. Literally, I think it's like millions every year. All right? And because of that, I'm trying to think if it would be millions per year. There'd probably be 100 million. If there's 100 million marriages in our society, then the divorces could be like over 1 million a year. It could be over 1 million divorces per year. And a lot of these men are just being totally divorce raped. They're paying vagina money, alimony. They're paying child support that's way too high. It's way inflated, way higher than what it should be. They're losing so much money. I was just reading a thing on Yahoo. This like professional boxer, I guess he got divorced from his wife, and this gold digger, she even took like some of his championship belts. She took his championship belts. I mean, those championship belts, that is his. He fought for those. He won those. That is his. And she took them. Legally, she took them. That is just utterly disgusting. I mean, those are his belts. I mean, he fought for them. Those are his. And these women are just vicious vipers. They're vicious, vicious vipers. And not all the time. I mean, there's obviously good women. There's some traditional good women out there. They're like maybe 20% of the population, just saying. There's some good traditional women out there. They're like 20% of the population, just saying. But when you marry one of these feminazis, and she divorce rapes you and she screws you out of your money, a lot of those guys get very depressed. They get suicidal. A lot of those guys commit suicide. A lot of those guys, they turn into alcoholic drunks. They turn into Oxycontin addicts, on the prescription drugs, the what do they call them? The opiates. And when you look at the men that are dying each year because of suicide, because of alcoholism, drug addiction, it's like, I think it's over 100,000 per year. I believe it's over 100,000 per year, and a lot of this is caused by these gold-digging vipers. These gold-digging vipers, these feminazi gold-digging vipers, they are the result of a lot of those deaths. So when you add it up over a 20-year period of feminazism, they have literally killed over 1 million men just in America. In just America alone, over 1 million men have died because of feminazism. When you add up Europe and all the other countries, it's in the millions. It's in the millions. It's literally, I mean, these gold digging feminazis are literally Nazis killing men. Literally. I mean, that is literally what is going on. And if you think about it, this is kind of how society's set up. We're already at 10 minutes. I got to go. But this is very important because this is how our society's set up. You got these super billionaire alpha males at the top. You got these 100-millionaire politicians, socialists at the top. They're the super alpha males, super powerful, super amount of money, all right? Here's how society's set up. The woman, not all, there's some good women. There's like 20% that are good women, that are faithful to their husbands, that are good women, that get married to their husbands and are good women and stay married. But then you got these other women, I don't know what the percentage is, I don't know what the percentage of these feminazis are that divorce rape their husbands, but it's a lot. It could be 30, 40, 50% of the women are like this, literally. It's probably that high. And these women are like literal feminazi concentration camp guards. And let me explain this. They basically have these beta bucks men working 70 hours a week, and they're just taking all their money. These feminazi guards have these beta bucks working 70 hours a week, and they're just taking all their money. And these women get everything they want. They get the car, they get the house, and the guy is just like a complete beta simp, and he's just buying her everything she wants. If she wants a $500,000 condo, he buys it for her. If she wants a car, fancy car, he buys it for her. He's just a slave working 70 hours a week to make this feminazi gold digger happy. And then what happens in most of the situations, 80% of marriages end in divorce. No, I take that back. Upwards 70% of marriages end in divorce. Upwards 70% of marriages end in divorce. And upwards 80% of divorces are initiated by women. And these gold-digging vipers, they initiate divorce at the highest rates. So then what happens is these women then divorce rape these guys. These guys have to pay vagina money, alimony. They have to pay just massive amount of money. They lose a ton of money, and then they get suicidal. A lot of these guys commit suicide. A lot of these guys get into alcohol, drugs, and they wind up dying because of alcoholism. They wind up dying because of drug overdoses. So you have millions of men dying because of these feminazi guards that are basically just treating these men like shit, just using them as a walking, talking ATM machine. That's what a lot of these gold digging women are doing. They're using men as an ATM machine, a walking, talking ATM machine, and it's really, really sick, and it's got to stop. And the way we got to stop it is we got to eliminate vagina money. We got to eliminate welfare, legalize prostitution, and really something's got to be done about the feminazi movement in these universities. Something's got to be done about that. There needs to be investigations. Federal funding needs to be stopped at the university level. There should be no more federal funding into the universities. There should be no more taxpayer funding into the universities at all. If they're gonna preach feminazism and hatred against men, then these universities, they just need to lose all their federal funding. They need to lose all their tax funding. They need to lose all that money. That's my philosophy. I just want to say that real quick.